What's up, everyone? This is Wait.
No, I'm Con. You're Heist. What's up, guys? This is Heist. We're doing. Wait, how do you intro your videos?
Wait,
I don't even know.
wait.
How do you?
Oh, you don't watch?
Well, I do, but like I skip ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I usually just go, "What's up, guys? This is Heist, and we're playing some more Railroads Online."
Oh, okay,
and
gotcha.
then talk about the topic. So, but this is your level, and I'm standing on your train cars. So what
Right?
are we
Yeah,
doing?
no, we're doing a double header. It's gonna be a super heavy double header. So I've been playing with the math, and I've done a lot of videos with the math, and I've realized my videos are boring with the math because I always follow the math correctly. So this time we're not following the math correctly. We're going to do a 27-car long train, and we're going to go around the entire map. We're going to pick up 3 different goods and deliver them all to the ironworks. I haven't done any deliveries to the ironworks yet, so we're going to go all the way to the coal mine and get 10 coal cars worth of coal. We're going to the smelter. We're getting 12 cars of raw iron, and we're going to the lumber mill, and we're getting 5 cars of lumber. A bunch of math involved. It all sucks. The total train weight is 710,000 pounds and our total pulling capacity at 3% is 586,000 pounds.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah, we're a little underweight, just a little. So we got to load this in a very specific order. I've got the schedule sheet. I don't even know what a schedule sheet would look like, but I've got the first we got to go to the smelter and pick up the 12 cars of raw iron. That's going to load us up to 400,000 pounds. We can easily pull that, no big deal. But there is a section leading to the coal mine that's 5% uphill, and up 5%, we can only pull 283,000 pounds, so we're screwed. We're overweight again. Okay?
Yeah.
I hope you're following. This all makes sense on the schedule sheet. So we're just gonna give her and hopefully make it, and then coming down from the coal mine will be 620,000 pounds. And once again, we can only pull 586, and we do have a 3% climb. We've got to do at 586, but it's only 620, so I feel like, we'll be good. And then after that, we'll be fully loaded at 700,000 pounds, but then we're coming back mostly flat from the sawmill, so we should be fine.
So we're going to have to run really fast everywhere and just kind of pray.
With 27 cars, man. With 27 cars. It's going to be great.
27 cars, doubleheader. That's some narrow gauge railroading right there.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? I don't understand.
So we need the cookie on top of the Class 70. Cookie's going on the point.
Yeah, cookie way out front, so just bring it way out onto the main line. Honestly, there's only really 2 I'm worried about, which is the climb out of the smelter. Because it does go pretty steep there, like 4 or 5%. And I'm worried that it's 4 or 5% for too long, and we'll be screwed. And the only other grade I'm worried about is the climb after the coal mine, because we've got to then go up 3% for a fairly long time. Like, it's long enough that it's concerning. Like, we'll definitely be shedding speed,
What number is your Class 70 so I know how to address you?
Number 5.
Number 5. All right, number 5. Bring him back. Brakeman protecting point. Start with about 8 cars to the hook.
I only understood like 3 words in that whole sentence.
Well, you're playing with a real railroader, so. All right, you got 6 more now, number 5. Keep him coming back about.
How would they do this? Oh, how would you do this though in real life? Like now you do it with radios, but back then would they just shout at each other?
Yeah, you'd use hand signals.
Really? Just like airplanes almost, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, originally back in the day, and I mean, even still today, we have hand signals, and most folks prefer to switch with hand signals, but a lot of times if you're shoving blind or around corners you can't see the guy who's giving hand signals, or you can't see, you can't see the obstructions coming up, so you'll just go to radio. But
is it hand signals with flags, or are they actually just like their hands flat up?
Literally just your hands, unless it's at nighttime, in which case they'll use a lantern, and your train's wandering away.
Yeah,
so...
no, I figure you want to drive. Which one do you want to drive? Do you want to drive Class 70?
I mean, I can drive the Class 70.
I figured you would enjoy that. I figured I might want to drive the Cook Mogul just so I can see the switches earlier and let us know we got to.
You know the routes, yeah. So you should be on the point. You're the helper engine, and I'm the road engine. I'm wandering towards you. I've got my tow bar.
You left the firebox open on the. Really? You just.
I mean, it doesn't affect anything in the sim right now, so you might as well leave it open.
So it's cool. I saw some videos of real life trains, and in real life there's such suction that it's like a vacuum. They like suck stuff into the firebox.
Oh yeah. It is crazy when these engines are working really hard. The suction force is insane. The first time I got to really fire on a real railroad, I fired at the Cumbres and Toltec. and we're going up Cumbres, the steep side, tonnage train, working as hard as we can. And the first time I had to put a shovel of coal in the back corners, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it tried to rip the shovel out of my hands entirely.
Right.
Like, the draft is so insane. All right, here we go.
Are you chugging it all with Reg or just me?
Kind of the way that this works right now is that if we're on flat or we're on light grade, you can kind of keep things stretched out and pull through me.
Right.
And then as we start getting on the hill, then it turns into I pull the train, and then you kind of regulate our speed. But I think for the purposes of this overweight train, I think we're going to just be
yeah, because I can still pull
out.
like 1.3 million pounds or whatever without you.
Exactly. Yeah, they're very, very good on the flat. But yeah, as soon as you start getting grades, it gets a little tough.
All right, I'm going to cut my reg. We do have to stop here at this switch and go right.
Okay.
And then there's probably going to be some switches that we're going to have to adjust. So I'm actually going to hop out, and you can pretty much just shove me along. And I'll flick switches in front of you. We are going to start going downhill. What do you think on going downhill with 27 cars? You think we'll be good just braking from the front?
They do seem to do pretty good in buff rather than in tension for whatever reason. And we do have 2 engines for the brakes, so if we start feeling a little scared, we can go tie some brakes. But
I mean, we're empty right now. I don't think we'll be...
Yeah, each car is only like 8,000.
Yeah, I think it's going to be sketchy when we're coming down from the coal mine. It's like a 3% run for a couple miles. And,
yeah, that'll...
and we'll be loaded with like 3/4 of the train. Oh, that might get spicy.
What we're doing right now is actually against the rules of the Denver and Rio Grande, at least. They had a pretty serious wreck, and the rear engine shoved the lead one off the track and turned over, and they destroyed a tender in the process. And I don't remember if there were any injuries or fatalities, but it's a bad time. They banned it after that.
How did the rear one shove the front one off? It just didn't brake hard enough, or brake too hard?
The front one had to use its engine brake to slow down.
Right.
And grabbed it really quick, and then kind of the weight of the train all ran on it at once, and it was enough to push the tender of the front engine off. And so then as soon as stuff starts going sideways, you get wonky really fast.
We'll have to set these on the way back through.
Gotcha, because we're going to the smelter first?
We're going left. Yeah, we're going smelter first. We're going to load up 12 cars of raw iron, 36 raw iron, and then we're going to go left out of here and climb to the coal mine.
Yeah, I was just thinking order of operations. We could have picked these up last.
No, it won't work for the weight. It won't work.
Really? Oh, because your smelter line, this is steeper than
Yeah, this is 3% all the way up to there, but it's a longer 3% climb than if we're doing 3% just the half the climb. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
So if we pick up the coal second, it's all downhill from the coal mine, and then it goes uphill for a little bit. So it gives us less time on 3%, right? Like this is what I'm assuming is going to give us the saving grace,
It's going to be interesting. That's
I don't know.
Sure.
We could always ditch, I don't need 10 coal cars. The ratio, we're picking up the right amount of raw iron and lumber to fit the toolworks ratio, but the coal is just an excess. So we could have done less coal cars, but I mean, I wanted to have 10 coal cars.
We can always set them out. We could build a quick siding and just, kick them over or double the hill or do what we have to do. I mean,
or grab a porter and slap it on the front.
Grab a porter, slap it on the front.
Can we talk about the need for perpendicular track that isn't perpendicular? Crossover sections that are at random angles?
Oh, crossovers that are, that would be super nice. And we might be able to do them with the new update, with the new spline update.
Yeah, in case you didn't notice, this whole huge loop is made because that piece has to be a plus and not...
Yeah, not a 60 degree or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Taken a lot of time to get all the overhaul done, but it's going to result in a lot better product for multiplayer. So hopefully,
you got 2 cars.
People are good at being with us. 2 more.
1 more.
1 more.
Half. Quarter. Oh, wait, I lied because there's 2 cranes. A full leather car. I'm an idiot. Sorry. 1 more car. What's the hand signal?
You just kind of wave, go away from me.
Yeah. Watch, I've somehow done the math wrong on this, and we're actually way overweight.
That would be hilarious.
And not just a little bit. All right, Heis. Last 2 raw iron. This is it. 12 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect.
Well, I can't see any of them from up here, so yeah, we'll figure it out.
Good. That's good. So we have to climb. We are underweight for this climb initially.
I would recommend we back up to start because we're on the grade.
Yeah, but we got a pulling power of 586,000 pounds. This is only 400,000 pounds.
Oh, okay. So we're not over. We're under. Oh, okay.
We're under for the first half of this climb. There's only going to be a short section where we're over, so that's what I think we're just good to go.
Okay, let's try it then.
I'm full reg. Oh right.
You just do 2. You just do 2.
Oh, we're hauling, dude. Look at how fast we're moving. This is great.
God, even with the existing sounds in game, listening to 2 of these things work is awesome.
Yeah, you guys are revamping the sound too, right? So the pistons sound more realistic and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have accurate chuffs syncs to wheel rotation, particularly at slow speed, and that'll be coming with the spline update as well. We're also going to have exhaust that matches the chuffs. So when
so
you
it'll
have a chuff,
puff when it chuffs, basically.
Yeah, a little puff when it chuffs.
That's so cool. All right, so we need to go left here and then left, and then this bridge is flat, but after the bridge, that's where the steep part of this climb is, so we just gotta hammer it down the bridge, you know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
What do they call a negative, like, 5% load? Is that bad? Is that...
It's more than tonnage.
Oh, God.
It means that we're putting these engines on their knees, making them work for it.
All right, I got the fuel. Full steam
ahead.
ahead.
I got pressure. Full steam ahead.
Oh, boy. Right? Here we go. It's not very long. It's not a long haul up this hill, but, you know.
We got a lot of train to clear the hill.
We have a lot of train to clear the hill, and the load is like halfway back the train.
That's what's going to make it interesting is when the load gets on the hill. See what it does.
I think we'll be okay, man. We're still hauling the mail.
We still got good speed. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that I've been watching your videos.
Oh, you hear that?
Looking down a little bit.
It's
just a little bit.
It's chugging.
Yeah, the loads are on the hill.
The load's on the hill. Oh no.
Yeah, you can feel that, can't you?
A little bit. Yeah.
Just keep it pinned. Just absolutely everything. It levels off so soon.
It is pinned.
If we could get you over the top.
Yeah. Just this little. Oh. Come on, you.
Just
come
walking
on.
Speed. Come on,
you. Oh my God, we're done. We're so close, dude. Like I feel like we could take a run at this and get it, or we just yeet a couple coal hoppers off the side of the mountain because we don't technically need them.
Well, I mean that's an option too. It's your railroad, so if you wanna use equipment as ballast, then by all means.
Listen, we got a mission passed down to us from headquarters, okay? And we gotta make this work.
We need these loads.
Yeah. In this particular order. Dude, this was the conservative order, too. I spent some time on this spreadsheet figuring out, like, what was the best way to go in order to make, like, with the most likelihood of making it. You know what I mean? And this was the best possible outcome. And it's obviously not good enough. All right, this is the hill we got to come back almost fully loaded. Once we have coal, we're gonna come back this way, and this is like the 3% section we have to climb from this ramp to like the top.
Oh, okay, that is shorter. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the shortest possible chunk. All right, I think we're good. I think we just hammer it forward and like.
Power! Again, Con, you just.
I'm the train guy who went to the dance club last night, and now he's just like way too into it.
I see.
Oh, we are gonna go way too fast here.
That's fine.
I'm just trying to look back and make sure we don't lose cars magically.
These switches are wide enough that you should be able to take them at faster than the in-game speed limit right now. So give it the speed.
That's true.
Give it the power you got.
I'm at 100%.
100%. Most switches are designed for like 20 mile an hour ish of that size. So on either like diverging or converging. Or going straight.
I think
Just listen to the sound of that.
Yeah, it feels like we're moving faster coming into this.
Now, again, remember it was when the load got on the hill that we
I
really
know.
started to fog. So,
Come on. Come on, you tractive effort.
if it doesn't work, we could try a yieldy railroad technique, which might be fun.
Come on. It's like you literally have to just clear that hill. Like, if you clear that crest, your tractive effort will just shoot through the roof. And then... Come on, you're like right there! You're right
it's
there!
so close.
The drive wheel just
It's
needs to
so
get on
close.
it! Get on it, drive wheel! Get!
Oh, I'm leveling off.
Come on, pull! Pull! Pull!
No.
Pull!
Come on.
Yeah!
Okay. All right. So, Con,
All right.
we're going to have to try an advanced railroad maneuver, I think, next, before we try cutting cars or anything.
Okay, what do we have to do?
We're going to do the old school. This is like from this era of railroading, by the way, too. We're going to tie the last couple handbrakes, put the whole train in compression, and then see. You stay up with the engines.
Oh, and then you're going to give it like a yank? Oh
And then
my god,
that
dude,
way
that's
you're
so
not
sick.
You're not pulling tonnage until you get the whole train behind you, at which point, hopefully,
It
you've
just
started to
yanks the
crest.
thing. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I've seen this done in real life, and it really does work. And it's kind of an impressive sight to see.
It must
the
be
coordination.
terrifying though. Like
So-
all the cars must just go like trunk, you know, like
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so I got the empty flats, the last 5 flats tied down. So gently roll back.
all right,
if
well,
you
I'm going to
can.
remove the cook brakes first. Let me just pull them back.
The cars are still wiggling back here. They're trying to be pulled. I can see them.
All right.
It's crazy.
The cookie brakes are off. We'll do the class 70 brakes now next. Dude, this is so legit if this works.
I'll be impressed. Okay, you're starting to come back, so set some brakes up.
I'm at full brakes. I'm not slowing down.
Oh baby.
Oh no.
Well, this is the other option.
Yeah, I'm at full brakes. We ain't slowing.
Okay, all right. Hang on. I've got brakes back here. Okay, so now you're theoretically full in compression. So give it everything you got.
All right. Full on the cookie.
Let me know when you start moving forwards.
Okay, and full on the class 70. About that whole moving forwards thing.
Oh, you're just not. Okay.
It's
Well,
just not.
Well, let's kick some empties down to the smelter then, shall we?
Uh,
Kick the coal hoppers we don't want to take, or do we
well,
want to double
see,
it?
I was thinking about that, and you know, I'm kind of a terrible person. Could have left the 5 empties at the lumber mill where we actually need the lumber for them.
Oh, well, that would have saved us.
You know, let's just back up and do
Several-
that. Let's
several
just
thousand
let's
pounds.
just go all the way back, and then yeah, we'll just ditch them up at the top, and then that'll save us on the way back too when we're like 100,000 pounds short. Don't worry, we're gonna get underway real soon. I guess we can just leave them on the flat part of track, and we'll just push them into the lumber mill on our way back, and then use one of the lumber mill shunt yards to loop it all around. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah, do that. You need more sidings and/or passing tracks to
Listen, okay,
pull off
listen.
your schemes.
I'm
Now this
trying
is
my
why I
best
like-
here, you know, but
If you've ever been on a railroad somewhere and you're like, why do they have like this random siding somewhere? It's because Khan was the train master and he said that we could take all this tonnage and we couldn't, so we had to set it out. So they had to build a siding for us.
I guess they
That's-
must like slap down sidings a lot just because, like, just.
Just because.
Well,
They
I
try
hear
to-
of like I guess they're what are they called, like service sidings or something like that on like legitimate railroads, and it's just for I don't know, like parking your train, letting people pass or something.
service siding is more like we're on track equipment. OTE is what we call it, like stuff that works on the track and is for maintenance. That's where that stuff lives typically. And we've left our train unattended and it's
And
now
it's
rolling
picking
away.
up speed.
Well, it's fine. We're gonna need the speed, so we might as well get on it.
We'll be good now. We just ditched like 50,000 pounds. There's no way we're not making this. Think about it. One climax could almost do this on its own.
Yeah, that does put it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm just checking the math. I lost my audio there when I alt tab to check the math. But yeah, one climax could almost do this on its own.
Well, hey, that's the whole point of the geared locomotives, right? God, we're even still, we're still bogging as soon as we get the car go on the little hill here.
Well, we're still technically overweight.
We are, but we're slowing down a lot slower, as it were. The rate of our deceleration is much less.
Yeah. Well, then I'm gonna like easily get onto this flat spot before we completely
Perfect.
decelerate. All right, Cookie, come on, pull.
Come on, keep it going,
Come on,
keep
pull.
it rolling.
Pull. Let's go. Get the Class 70 onto the flat spot.
I'm coming up too now.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh my God! Don't slip. Come on.
Yeah, just keep it rolling.
Keep going. Keep spinning those
Come on,
wheels.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Guys.
Let's go. It's right here.
It's literally right there.
Put your sand on a little bit. It's helping me, I think.
Okay.
I'm not like
Mine's on.
I'm not like wheel slipping, but I'm not. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. We're like, this is like, this was supposed to be the easy climb. Okay, this was supposed to be the easy one. This is like normal railroad stuff. This is like two guys were given a job. You know,
And we're just trying to figure it out.
They're just trying to figure it out. The boss said it'll work, so they have to make it work.
Yeah, that's actually too accurate. That is too accurate to the real railroad right now.
All right, this feels better. This feels like we have more speed.
We've said that the last 3 times.
Okay, well, you know, if this doesn't work, we're ditching the tender, or I'm going all the way back to get the Heisler.
I don't know if I like either of these options.
I don't like either of these options either. The boss said we should be able to make it with these engines. I don't know why we're not, we're not trying hard enough.
Fair.
Watch, we have like a brake tied still, and that's been the whole problem.
That'd be par for the course. That would also be par for something the railroad has done.
Come on, come on. I'm like, I've got more speed now coming over this crest, I think.
I think you do too.
Made it more around the corner.
Can we keep it going?
Come on, you stupid engine, you just
Don't start talking mean. Keep talking nice.
Go! Go! No!
No. Oh my God. You're like
it.
right there. Full right there.
All right, this game. Okay, hold on. Let's full break. Let's assess this. Yeah, I hear you. Oh my God, dude. The cook tender brake was on the whole time.
Oh my God, Con.
It wasn't me. I don't know what. Wait, has it been on the whole trip? It's probably been on the whole trip.
Oh my God, Con.
Whoops. We probably could have made it with.
You've just given that tender flat spots all the way across it.
Meanwhile, if it was, we'd be hearing this like screeching death noise the entire time we're driving. Can't figure out why we're not moving anywhere.
So the funny thing is you probably wouldn't, which is the frustrating thing.
Really?
So handbrakes, typically when you have a handbrake tied, it's not enough to lock the wheels up, but it will apply a lot of brake. You typically hear like what we call brake rigging chattering, where the levers start to just kind of bounce back and forth as the friction changes with the shoe and the rough surface of the wheel. So you just kind of get like a sound going on. Typically, you only get the wheel to slide if you've taken an air set in addition to your handbrake being set. So, right when you're not expecting it.
We got it this time. There's no way. I was like, I gotta check all the brakes just to make sure. And sure enough, the tender brakes were 85% on the Cook Mogul.
Yeah, that's significant enough that you'd notice that on a 5% grade.
I would think, yeah. I'm gonna die if we just blare up this hill now at like full speed.
See, there's a thing that we do in the real industry called a terminal air brake test, where before we leave and after we've changed our consist at all, if we've added cars or removed cars or switched things, we check and make sure that the brakes work on every car.
Right.
And you also check for all the handbrakes. Obviously, that takes a lot of time to do, and we wouldn't want to do that in the game. But yeah. It does lead to fun misses like this.
Full hardcore realism mode where you have to do all the maintenance checks on an engine before you can leave.
Oh God, yeah. Show up at 5 a.m. for the train to leave at 10. Sounds
yeah, 5 hours of maintenance checks on each engine.
Yeah, maintenance, fire it up, do the servicing for the day. servicing one of these things for a day of operation. I mean, it's a lot of work.
All right, I want to say that we're going faster now, but I honestly couldn't tell you.
It feels like we are.
Come on, Cookie. Come on. Make the corner. Okay, we made the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Last time we didn't make the corner.
This, man. You got this. I'm watching you level out right now.
Come on. Yeah, I'm like flat ground. Pull 2 million. Let's go. Do what you can. Pull that 2.5 million.
Oh,
Pull
dude, I'm on
that
it now,
2.5 million. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So this is the first take. We just made it up the hill.
Yeah,
nothing happened. We didn't try this like 6 times.
Hold on. Let me just put up some. I'm getting good here. I'm understanding what this stuff means. Yeah, we're just gonna put a couple of these because we're right on time. No big deal.
You put your tender marker lights up. That doesn't make any sense, Con.
Well, I don't know. Where did you put the schedule lights? On the front? I guess front flags, right? They'd be like red flag.
So you'd have class lamps on the front, and then marker lights on the rear of the train. It's a denoted train. So you'd have typically 2 white lamps or two flags on the very front of the front engine, and then you'd have 2 red lights on the back of the train, or 2 red flags on the back.
All right, so now we get the incredibly boring adventure to the coal mine. It's downhill a little bit here, and then it's mostly just like up, flat, like a series of steps. It's all 3%, so we should pull it no problem.
Okay, that's good.
And then, we're coming down 3% loaded, and we'll be heavy, and we got to go down that same super steep death hill fully loaded. So...
Well, that'll... we might have to have 1 brakeman, actually, for that.
Dude, I can't believe how much of a mission that was. That's...
Right, this was a bit of an endeavor, but it's been fun.
That has me worried about the next one, because the next climb is like that 3% uphill steel bridge or whatever.
Boss man should have just told us what loads he wanted where, and he should have let the real railroaders come figure it out for him.
True, that would have helped a lot. It's actually kind of funny. In the entire time of doing this, I never thought to maybe just leave half the train at the lumber mill and grab that last, because going to the ironworks, like, you obviously have to pass the lumber mill anyway.
Right, that's the fun logistical challenge is like, okay, well, where can I leave stuff? What can I do? How can I make it easier? What's the order of operations? It's a neat bit of thinking that goes into running a railroad.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, too, like, in these railroads, they still would have had, like, people at the industries themselves loading cars, putting them into lines. Yeah. Engines come pick them up.
Typically, I mean, I don't know 100% how it was back in the day, but in the modern day, the railroad comes in and just hands the train cars to the industry, and the industry does what they're going to do. And the train crews are just there to pick up a loaded train or an empty train and take it out.
Right.
Which, it'd be nice if you get to that point.
But, okay,
it's a fair bit of work to simulate in the game, but,
The industry owns the goods. The train company owns the trains. Who owns the train cars? The train company as well?
That is a brilliantly nuanced question. In this era, yes, it probably would have been the individual railroads. But in modern day, no. In modern day, almost anyone owns train cars. There are banks that own train cars and locomotives, and private companies that don't own railroads or locomotives that own train cars. And so they lease the train cars out to be used by the railroad companies, or they pay for loads to be transported on them. And it's kind of a really weird, nuanced, fun little side of the industry that doesn't get talked about too much. It's cool.
Well, I'm always just thinking about, like, who maintains the cars and stuff, right? Oh, I guess the main reason is because, like, I used to work in automotive, right? And in automotive, you'd have, like, these metal cages called racks for storing parts. And you would transport the racks from location A to location B. And it would depend, because some racks were owned by, like, the guy you were shipping it to, and some racks were owned by us that we would ship with them and then get them back, right? Like, it was always a toss-up.
So the fun thing about that, relating to the train world, is that they actually came up with a regulatory body called the American Association of Railroads, or the AAR, that governs all repairs and maintenance on train cars. There is a standard rate and part cost and everything for every repair on a rail car. That's standard. I mean, if someone binned it, rolled it down the mountain, it got destroyed, that's one thing. But if you need a new safety appliance like a handrail or a handhold, or you need a new coupler, or you need a new cut lever, all that sort of stuff, there is a standard rate and labor charge for that. So a Union Pacific-owned freight car will come to a BNSF railway shop because it was on a BNSF train, but it didn't pass the inspection because something was broken. And so BNSF now has to fix it because it's in their train on their railroad. And they will then bill Union Pacific the exact bill based on what the AAR says. So everyone maintains rail cars for everyone else, but there's standardized pricing for all of it based on industry standards.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's
kind of guarantees a certain level of safety in that sense, because then people aren't cheaping out on things.
It's kind of surprising how uniform and standard it is, honestly.
This is just a wonderful scenic route. It's really gradual. The turns are pretty shallow. There's only one turn that's kind of a bit sketchy where we'll have to pull off the reg a little bit and kind of coast through it, like up in the mountain.
Good to know.
Yeah, I mean, not much you can do about it. It's a pretty sharp mountain. But other than that, like, this is such a smooth track, you know?
I've never operated down this chunk of the map. I've always laid in other canyons and other valleys. So being down here by the river, this is really pretty.
This felt like the dev intended part of the map. And the reason why I say that is you'll notice, well, you'll see the, like, my groundwork, I always try and keep it super low to the ground, right? But you'll see here, look, there's like a natural hump that comes up at a perfect, like, spiraling angle to, like, meet up with this next section.
Yeah, Kume did draw some paths that he thought people would, you know, or would suggest to people a possible route to take, and it certainly has worked, so.
Yeah, I tried to just follow those paths, at least for my first playthrough. I've decided that if you guys make a system that requires me to reset my whole map, my next playthrough is going to be 10% track only. And that's going to be the whole track. So everything will be 10%. It'll be flat between the flat sections where it's flat, but anytime I have to go up a hill, it's 10% or nothing, you know?
That's going to be interesting.
With maybe little 5% joiner sections, so you're not just going 0 to 10%. You got like a little.
Yeah, make it a little smooth vertical curve.
Yeah. But yeah, 10% everywhere, because then it'll be like 4 engines pulling 2 cars. It'll be great.
That is the classic narrow gauge picture.
So cool, man. Our other cars, you might not be able to see it, but they're on the other side of the circle, way down the hill.
Oh, that's
still see them.
Cool.
I should probably clear more trees.
I can't see them, but that's got to be pretty as host.
All right, this is the spicy turn.
Oh, it's not that spicy. This is still like this is a mild.
Yeah, I didn't even let off the reg. I just kept it at 100%.
Me too.
Anyway, that's the only spicy turn of this whole run. We're going to be coming down this, obviously, but I think it's 3%. Like, we'll be fine. You know?
Yeah, this is a really pretty chunk of railroad you've got here. I like this.
Sometimes it's nice. I feel like if we were on the railroad in real life running this doubleheader, we'd just be chatting, you know, maybe playing some cards while we're sitting there.
Yeah?
Actually, you'd probably be shoveling like mad to keep these things burning.
Yeah, if this is 3% and we're near tonnage, yeah, you'd be shoveling pretty frequently. Yeah. Or if they're wood burners, you'd be pitching wood constantly. I don't operate wood burners. There still are a couple wood burners, and they were a part of an event at the Cumbres and Toltec back in August, and it was a whole thing to set up. I mean, you had to set up and stage wood loading locations. They had to load wood like every 3 or 5 miles. They had to load by hand a bunch more wood because they just burned through it so fast. It was crazy.
These engines, like all these engines that you guys have, they're all wood burners right now. But in real life, is there any, like, there's no difference between a coal and a wood burner? You just throw in a different fuel into the firebox, or is it?
There are differences in firebox geometry and design for coal versus wood because it's a slight different firing methodology between the two of them.
Right. All right, let's load this thing up.
Yeah.
Look at that, 126 coal. We're laughing.
126 coal. We got 10 cars, so we're not gonna take you entirely dry, but we're gonna.
I'm gonna let you do the break. We just overshot. It's fine.
We were just blowing right past it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a heavy train, even though we're coming uphill. It's fine.
Yeah, I probably should have had the switch flicked the other way so we could be loading while on flat ground and not. But you know, because like half the load is still kind of on a bit of a hill. But I mean, you should be fine.
All right, is that all 10 loaded?
Yeah, all right. All 10 are loaded. I'm gonna just wait back here until there's the switch.
Okay.
We are now just shy of 600,000 pounds of weight.
Casual 600,000.
Yeah, no big deal. Would you recommend we have a brakeman for this adventure downhill? Do you think it matters?
Yeah, nah, I mean, yeah, it would have been best to have only had one locomotive and then have a brakeman, but we have 2 locomotives here and we're going to need them later, so there's only 2 of us. I think we're going to do it.
We're just gonna just double brake it from the front, let it compress.
Double brake it from the front, let it compress. If we start to poop our pants at all, we'll go tie brakes.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, I'm at 100% brake.
I'm just rolling right now because it seems like one is doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, if it maintains this speed the whole way down, that's perfect, you know?
Yeah, I'd be shocked if we just need the one brake. If we just need one, that's brilliant.
It's actually interesting. This section of the railroad is very, very close to 3% the whole way. There's some sections that go down to 2%, but even the parts that look flat aren't flat. You're still constantly climbing. It just feels really flat because it never changes grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a true grade. Yeah, it's brilliant.
But it's
And
really,
this
really
is
smooth.
it's just going nice and smooth, nice and easy. If you
Yeah.
want me to turn my brake on, we'll get it on. Otherwise, I think we're just gonna be able to roll pretty nice with just the one.
That's crazy, just the cook's brakes. All right, how are we doing for fire? I'm gonna do my checks. 52%. Better bump those numbers up.
Oh, so speaking of fire, before we loaded, we were talking about coal burning and wood burning fireboxes,
Right.
and the whole thing behind them is that wood is just not as dense as in terms of BTUs as coal is. So to get the same amount of heat out, you need to have a lot more wood, basically. And as such, they tried to burn, a lot of long logs if they could get them, but otherwise just a big depth of logs. And so typically a wood burning firebox is really deep. It's really tall, so that you could really have a big fire bed in there, so that you weren't pitching wood absolutely constantly if you were, running close to tonnage. Whereas with a coal burning engine, you want a thin layer of coal, but spread out further. You literally spread it out with a shovel. You need that wider area for more air to go through the coal. And yeah, you literally by the scoop you put it there, unless you're in a huge engine that's got an automatic stoker, but that's outside the purview of Railroads Online. But yeah, in the case of like 491, the big engine that I deal with at the Railroad Museum, the firebox is 5.5 by 9.5 feet. So you have a pool table that you need to fill evenly with coal, basically. That is your task. And the door is at the height of your knees, and you're swinging 50-pound scoops of coal.
Yeah, and the door's only like a foot wide or something?
It's probably 18 inches wide, but plenty of scoops have nailed the side of the door, believe me.
But you control the airflow into the firebox too, right? Which also controls the fire temp. So that would be a whole other...
So, yes and no. It depends on what kind of engine you're running. Because a lot of wood burners had airflow controls called dampers.
Right.
And so do oil burners, and some coal burners do. I know everyone in the UK has told me that I'm wrong, and that all coal burning engines have dampers, but none of the Rio Grande stuff does. None of the narrow gauge stuff had dampers, so you can't change your airflow in. The only thing that changes your airflow is how hard the engine's working, or if you use the blower valve, which induces a steam draft, but the blower valve doesn't do near as much as the draft or the actual piston's exhausting does. You typically only use the blower when you're standing or if you're going downhill.
Dude, this is great. This is actually so casual. Just like I've literally been hovering my brake between like 60 and 70% now, and just slowly coasting our way down. It's nothing really too crazy.
This is a lot easier than I was expecting. Just a nice. I mean, that really speaks to the power of the independent brake on just one of these locomotives.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't have, in this era. They wouldn't have had car brakes that are all tied in, right?
They're all they wouldn't have had dedicated brakes on these cars, but these cars are also really light. Like the fact that it's an 8,800 or 8,900 pound flat car unloaded. That's itty bitty. I mean, even some of the early Rio Grande stuff that had air brakes was like, 15,000 pounds a car.
This is such a wonderful, wonderful track.
It really is pretty.
And I'm not saying that like, oh, my track laying skills are so great. I mean, like the locations you guys made on the maps are really good. I should rephrase that. It's wonderful to be going next this valley, and there's like the mountains on either side. You got the river. Like, it just feels great.
Yeah, this is very, very Durango and Silverton-esque. That's one of the remnants that exists of the Denver and Rio Grande Western still. There's two big tourist railroads that were originally a part of that historical railroad. The Durango and Silverton is one of them, and they have sections where they're running up against the canyon wall and the river at the same time, and it's just beautiful, and it's really reminiscent of this, and it's I can't believe this is like the first time I'm actually getting to operate down this side of the map, because it's really pretty. Yeah, this is scooting her along like real nice. We're going a little quick, but it's not
I'm
a
only
bad
at 60% brake. I can bring it up a little bit more.
No, this is good speed. We're just moving. We're making time.
Yeah, I mean, boss man, we're kind of late coming up the first hill, so we're trying to make up the time.
True. Gotta make up the rest of the time here.
It's crazy though. You think about it. Like, if there was a train line like this in real life, we would have had to haul it full speed all the way up to the coal mine, just shoveling like crazy. And then now we get to this point, and we can just sit back and relax and let the train does it. Like, I guess you have to keep the fire stoked and keep the pressure up and all that, but.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. From my time when I got to fire at the Cumbres and Toltec, when I fired all the way over the railroad on one of their engines from Chama to Antonito, 15 miles out of Chama, 4% grade, tonnage train, you are slogging the darn thing with coal for an hour. You're doing 15-ish miles an hour all the way up the hill, and you just absolutely load the thing up with coal every minute. Once a minute, you're putting, about 10, 12 scoops of coal in, and then letting it run for a little bit, wait until the stack goes clean, and then you put another bunch of scoops in, and you get to sit down for another, minute maybe, and you go through a couple tons of coal on the way up. But you leave Cumbres going downhill towards Antonito, 1.5% down, more or less, almost the whole way there. There's some spots where you really have to fire because the curves are pretty sharp and you have to work through them. But by and large, you're basically just keeping enough fire in there to ensure that you've got the air compressor running, supplying enough air to the train, because you have to have more steam pressure than you do air pressure for the air compressor to work, because it's a linear piston relationship. You can't create more air pressure than you have steam pressure.
And it just takes air pressure from the outside air, pulls it through a one-way valve, and then uses the steam pressure to compress it.
To squeeze it, yeah, basically. So
into a does it have like a pressure tank, or is it just into the line?
Yeah, there's a main reservoir. You can see on the back of your tender and back of my tender that's what the big reservoir is, the big tank.
Oh, that would be your air reservoir. Pressure. Oh.
Yeah. That's where it's stored.
So if I ditch the tender, I'd still have air brakes, but I shouldn't.
But you shouldn't, because you wouldn't have had the main reservoir anymore. Yeah, it's not modeled that way, because, that's a lot of code to do for something that we're rewriting all the time.
Right.
But, yeah, the compressors, the top cylinder is steam, and the bottom cylinder is air. So you can, you have seal efficiency to deal with and seat efficiency, right? So you can only get maybe 10, 15 psi less air pressure than you have steam pressure.
All right, so we're coming up to the exit of the coal mine valley. This is a wonderful train. It just keeps going the whole length of track behind us.
That's awesome.
It's gonna make so much money. I'm so excited for it, and it's gonna make a ton of ironworks products, which is great. So we do have to get those 5 cars and put lumber on them now. This is like a mission and a half. I know. I think we'll make it. I think we'll be good. Maybe.
I hope so. It's like right at tonnage, pretty much. So
yeah.
Barring any weird changes in elevation or.
Well, this curve up here is pretty sharp. It might kill us a little bit on the friction. You can hear it.
Yeah, it's working for it. And you got to remember that the double-headed locomotives don't exactly add 100% linearly.
Right.
So.
It is definitely working for it. This turn is going to be the doozy.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still slugging. Like, it's still...
This is proper railroading right now. Just really battling it out.
This whole train has been just an overweight problem. Like, this train needs to go on a diet for real. It's ridiculous. This is actually the closest to tonnage I've ever run trains in this game. Like, it's insane. Even the Heisler on the 10% just handles it so much better than this.
The numbers are pretty much spot on is what we're learning. It's
yeah.
funny. The math worked. What?
Dude, we're gonna make it. We'll be fine.
You would not believe how much testing we had to do to get things just crisp perfect.
Alright, I'm gonna just let this go at 100% reg.
We got some flats that we're gonna have to dunk into here in a second.
Oh, we're gonna do something epic for this.
We're gonna pick them up on the floor.
We're gonna do the old.
No, I don't like this.
Don't worry, just hit him.
Okay. All right. It's fine.
That back flat's just destroyed. Just gone.
We will not bring up a derail counter for that. It was a little spicy. The cookie did some bounce.
It's good. It's still on. This flat though would have just been gone off the track. Hands down.
It would have been smushed. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to put on some brakes and slow down? And I'm gonna let the flats like pick up speed and run through this first switch.
Oh, dude, we're doing the Dutch drop.
Yeah, we're gonna flick really these guys right, and then we're gonna go left.
All right. Yeah, this is kind of a flying switch, but usually you're on the other end of it. But yeah.
All right. Let them go through.
You should have enough separation.
I probably have to follow them.
You can just set the brake, throw a switch and set the brake on those.
All right.
Or you can ride them.
I'm gonna ride them in. Yeah, they're gonna get derailed here potentially. Maybe. If I didn't set this other switch correctly, they're just gonna bounce off it. To be honest, it'll be fine. Oh, maybe I might even catch it. Never mind. I might catch this. Hold on.
I hope you catch it. That'll save us some.
Oh no! I derailed the one. I derailed. Well, shoot. We're kind of going through the sawmill, or in the order, like the reverse direction that I intended when I built it. But we have cars in front, so everything is different. All right, there we go. Yeah, you go through to the left, and then once you pull all the way through, you'll see where all the switches converge, and then you got to go onto the far right switch to meet up with me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I see what's going on. I'm going to have to link up with you to respot to load. So you're going to be waiting on me. And I'm dragging a lot of dead weight that I can't see.
I also realized, too, the brake on these stake flats is going to be in the wrong direction now, and that sucks.
You purposefully spend time re-railing them to be
I don't re-rail them. I shunt them to do that.
You're mad.
Yeah, I am a little bit.
How are you operating a railroad, dude?
I don't know. There's like a team of doctors trying to figure that one out.
Apparently.
Yeah,
that is sickness.
When I spawn, so when I don't ever really have to re-rail them unless I derail. If I derail the train, then I'll re-rail them in the right direction. But when I buy them, they always come in the same direction when you buy them, and then I line my train up purposely so when I attach them to the train in the bot position, it's correct.
That kills me. That's funny.
I'm assuming that's not an industry practice.
No, God, no. No, the handbrakes end up wherever they end up.
All right, dude, we're fully loaded. I'm going to, it got another thing that's bothering. You know when you have like a half-loaded thing and it's like the 3 at the back and not the 3 at the front of the car?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know how, I guess it would be 3-centered if they were only half-loading it, but either way. You're good. You could probably just pull out with like either engine, honestly. We're pretty much flat ground all the way to the ironworks at this point.
Well, I'm gonna shove the cookie around with the Class 70 and hopefully not accidentally derail it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go and check the switches because we got that second Y to go through on the bypass line.
That's gonna be set against us. Yeah. This is where the speed update will really shine.
Oh yeah, we'll be hauling, dude. You haven't even seen my ironworks track yet. Just wait. Your mind is getting blown by this ironworks track.
I hope it's bullet straight perfect.
It's bullet straight perfect. One curve at like 10 degrees and then bullet straight again. I gotta flick this first switch here coming up. Give me a bit of break because I am not.
It looks like on my end it just threw against us. It just threw to the right.
Yeah, it's probably because it hadn't loaded, and then when it loaded, oh god, are we gonna make it? We're gonna make it. We made it, I think. Yeah.
That was a little cheesy, and I had my bar in reverse, and I was running against the brake in reverse.
All right, dude. We are now on the Toolworks, the Ironworks loop. There are no switches. It is a double parallel line.
Oh, really? You just laid a... Oh, no, I watched this YouTube video. I know this. Yeah, you laid
This is
you
perfectly straight.
You used your groundwork strat that you showed me for the caboose racing video.
Yeah.
And you laid 2 perfectly parallel tracks.
Well, these are perfectly straight. These are straighter. These are done with 2 switches to align themselves, so they're perfect switch width. So if you put a switch on either side, you can just make easy crossovers from one to the other. And then yeah, they're aligned and they just go all the way. Like they're perfectly straight, literally like perfect.
That's awesome.
I can't stress perfect enough. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're pretty freaking bullet straight. I can't see a single.
No. The corners are like kind of a little free drawn a little bit, right? So there's some parts of the corners that aren't perfectly parallel, but then it goes to another perfect straight. This is where the speed limit, like once the speed limit, if it works with these splines, I will 100% be driving this loop with max speed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd take these corners at 50, but yeah, certainly you could run really fast around these, a lot faster than we can. So as soon as you get the spline update done, knock on wood.
Can you see the industry too in multiplayer?
I see the tracks disappear, and I don't think I can see the industry yet. No.
You don't see the building? Like it's straight. So I cleared the trees. This tracks point straight at it.
Yeah, no, I can't see it, but that's got to be a great look.
Yeah, it was actually cool. In single player, the tracks actually disappear too. Like I don't even see the end of the tracks.
The funny thing about that is that's pretty much how it is in real life too, though. Like not that the track's running ahead of you. Oh, there's the industry now. But when you're in the cab and you're looking ahead of you, I mean, the track just turns into a blend. When you're on a long straight, the ties just turn into a complete blend. It's such a unique experience. It's very cool.
I don't know if that's enough, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Yep. I think I've ruined some of your coal, but you said you didn't need all the cars.
It made it. It all made it. Crazy.
Oh, it even counts it on the stairs? That's
apparently,
hilarious.
Yeah. Cool thing about this line too is like after all that adventure and all that distance traveled, like we traveled the whole map basically. We were just over that ridge. You know, we weren't really that far, but we had to go all the way around the map to do it. And then to get back to the freight depot and actually like shunt this train is like no effort at all. It's right there.
It's funny how it works out with the coal mine being so far out there.
Yeah.
I've built the quick route over this ridge that you talked about, and I feel like it kind of does make sense to do it that way because the coal's closer to its deliveries that it needs to make. It just depends on if you're going to be closer to your inputs or your outputs. You're going to have to start buying some new kinds of cars.
Yeah, I need box cars. I really want the oil cars. That's what I'm most excited about. But they're expensive. They're so pricey.
They are spendy, but you don't need too many of them. But yeah, get some box cars, and then right quick, you're going to need tank cars.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Obviously, I'm going to go park these trains. I'll probably run some smaller trains. Going to connect up the other 2 industries. I think probably before I spend this money, and then I could spend the money on the cars I need to get to those industries. Because this is all pretty flat, so might have to bring it back in to run some other stuff. But let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure, of course, check out Heiss's channel, link in the description, and we'll see you all next time.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.